Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. All right. So 47 held a news conference today discussing the collision over Ronald Reagan Airport between a military Black Hawk helicopter and an American Airlines flight, resulting, I believe, in the loss of all lives of both the plane and the helicopter crew. And, rather than offering condolences, solutions, and such, he opted to blame Biden, Obama, DEI, hires done into air traffic controllers for people who aren't mentally or emotionally capable of doing the job, which he's attributed to DEI hires. The Democrats, Pete Buttigieg, anybody he could point a finger at. Not one speck of ownership or leadership was shown by this man. Not a little bit. Leaders don't point the fingers at other people. The fact that a week ago, 8 days ago, but a week ago, he put out an announcement that he had gotten rid of DEI hiring, or basically got rid of DEI with the FAA, and now the FAA is fixed. Didn't age real well when he had the first air crash in 20 years. Happened under his watch. The new FAA chief, Mr. Duffy, didn't have a whole lot to say either. Because guess what? He's not qualified for the job. But he's in there anyways. Dude was a Tea Party Republican House member and former lumberjack. Now he's in charge of the FAA. I'm sure you could see the connection between his lumberjack days, his becoming a House member. I think he was on Fox News on some opinion shows. You can see why he's qualified to lead the FAA. I mean, it's such a logical leap there. And I just think that this is kind of one of those unfortunate non-coincidences that we're going to be seeing more and more. It would be like, nominating Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and then a month from now, bird flu becomes a pandemic, and it's going to require vaccination in order to overcome it. And he's built a career on sowing fear and doubts about vaccines. Something like that. So I want to look at the energy around Donald Trump's press conference and how, what the energy is like around that. Because you're going to imagine that the folks on the right are going to make excuses for Trump. They're going to blame the Democrats for everything like Trump did. And nobody's going to ever expect this guy to act like a leader or a commander. Because he's not. And they won't call him out on it either. It's so disgusting. All right, let's look at that energy. Folks, come on down. This is for entertainment purposes only and to provide insight into the situation. Foundation of the reading is the Lover's card. Big ticket major arcana about agreements. It's almost like Spirit saying, okay, we have to open up people's eyes. This is what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. I'm expecting we're going to get more of the same. Sorry if I lead in with it, then I'm reading the cards that way. This is about major relationships, life agreements, and the High Priestess asking questions. Here's what I'm going to say on that. The folks that died on that aircraft, this was part of their soul paths. Now, this is not to make light of it or dismiss it. It's kind of like the message that we got that not to judge the people who get COVID because they were on their sole contracts. They opted to cut their lives short in order to get a message across. I don't know what the message is, but in this case, the message is kind of like when Trump is corrupting the government and getting rid of these programs. Oh, that was the other thing. According to the FAA report that Trump read before talking about DEI being to blame, he would have heard and known that that tower was not normally manned. That's another fancy way of saying it was understaffed. And one controller, we usually have one controller telling the helicopters traffic what to do, one controller talking with aircraft. And you had one guy having to do both jobs. This was an avoidable accident. And because, and not only that, Trump also has a hiring freeze. So not only does he want only the best and brightest in there, he has a hiring freeze and they're getting rid of people because of DEI programs and they're understaffed. Expect more of the same. These are folks that agreed to do that to bring attention to issues like this. And there's more that's going to be coming. Page of Pentacles in the past. It's just another Trump grift. How is the grifting in this one? He's trying to save money by getting rid of people. I don't know if they're going to try and privatize, get rid of the FAA and try and privatize it, but it's going to be something like that. It's just another grift. Yep. It's another grift of the oligarchs here. Playing on people's emotions, court cases, bringing things to an end. Okay. How do I look at this? This is people making choices, life choices, so that the rest of us can learn from it. They made that agreement before they came down. They had to cash in the chips because of the way the election went. Family members are going to be upset over this. People in the United States should be upset over this, and they should want answers, and they should want things fixed. And what they're finding out is that there's not a lot of answers from the Trump administration. There's a lot of backstabbing and blame, but there's not a lot of people showing responsibility. You wait and watch how Trump try and says that the reason that this happened is because it's not privately owned, and a privately owned air traffic controllers would have been so much better than government employees. Something along those lines. That's going to be a theme that you hear throughout his time in this administration. The Republicans have been wanting to privatize big federal government programs for decades. Right now, nobody's going to be in the mood to hear it. What will be the fallout for Trump for his performance today? Because there will be fallout for it. Now, don't expect the fallout to come from Fox News. Don't expect the fallout to come from people who watch Fox News, because that's not going to happen. There's going to have to be political fallout for stuff like this. Basically, you're going to have to get to the point where certain people that would normally not care are repulsed by Donald Trump and his behaviors. So what's the fallout for Trump? Do we get to the repulsion stage here? How about a little four-carder on that? Victory or paying attention? Okay. He's exposing himself as a leader, that he doesn't accept the blame for stuff. He tries to sneak off, scapegoating, and then walk away from the situation here. His leadership style is to lie belittle and dismiss, and then distance himself from it. He'll find, this agreements that are on here, but he'll find his way out of this and find somebody else to blame. Kind of like how he's blaming, this is Obama's fault, this is Biden's fault, this is Buttigieg's fault, this is the Democrats' fault. Scapegoat all these people. Heaven forbid, the 60, 70 people that died, there was no mention of them by him. One of the podcasts I was watching, they were saying, how the Republicans were screaming, say her name, say Laken Riley's name. I think somebody asked him to name off the victims, and he's like, why would I do that? What a waste of time. Because he doesn't care. What's the fallout from this? People are seeing the type of leader that he is. In case they missed it the first time, I don't know how you missed it the first time, but in case you missed it the first time, you got to see it again. Because in this case, it's a tragedy. This is not a Republican thing. It's not a Democrat thing. It's a plane crash involving the military and a commercial airliner for a tower that was understaffed. And the thing is, Trump had taken action to make it difficult to staff, and actually impossible to staff it, because there's a hiring freeze. And if somebody's out sick, they're shorthanded. They can't hire replacements. Somebody retires, they can't hire replacements. Somebody quits, they can't hire replacements. So, although it was only a week or so after he made his pronouncement, he was so proud of that pronouncement, and now here we go. You're 8 days past that pronouncement, and shows you what the rest of your life is going to look like under his watch. What's next for Trump with regards to this? Little Seven Carter on this one. What's next for him with this? Path forward. He's not going to own it. He is absolutely not going to own it. People will try and get him to own it, but he's going to continue to blame others. That's just how he rolls. Maybe there'll be an investigation into it, but he's going to scapegoat. He's going to scapegoat. Basically, he's going to beat down his message that it's all the Democrats' fault. He's not going to own his own behavior in this one, because he only knows one direction. He's out there putting out his message. Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Yeah, this is your DEI hires. He's going to say it's the DEI hires here. You hired women and, people of privilege that didn't belong in those positions here. God, there's going to be more of the same. Wheel of Fortune, overarching energy, Page of Pentacles. And he's going to grift. He's going to grift. He's going to try and... What's he going to do? How do you raise money off of this? I just think it's going to be that, again, it'll be that push to privatize. He won't own it. He just won't own it. It's almost like he's going to cut the budget. He's going to take away services. He's just going to grind people. The new FAA director, he's going to make it this guy's problem to fix. And he's going to have to do more with less. And we're just going to have more of these issues. The folks that are going to be the air traffic controllers, they're just going to burn out. It's a high-pressure job. Heck, in the early 80s, I contemplated whether or not that might be a position when I had no idea what I was going to do for a living, something I might go for. We lived right next to an airport, and it was a good-paying job, but I understood that was a high-pressure job. I don't think I really understood how high-pressure job it was. But, yeah, this is going to break people. in there. And they're already understaffed. They've always had a hard time getting qualified people to be the air traffic controllers, and now you can make things even worse. I just had a feeling. I wonder if they'll try and move to AI for something like that. Would Trump and company, like Elon Musk, are they going to try and use AI to supplement air traffic controllers as a cost-cutting measure? May not be the worst thing. Just saying, because you can use logic and computers don't get sleepy. Let's see. They use AI for Two of Wands, not for the distant future. They'll be fighting from the unions about that. They would argue, though, that it's the future and it's a better job. Yeah, I think they're going to go that way, but this is off in the future. This is distant planning about using like AI or something like that. More wholesome for everybody. It's a new, entering the new era, but there would be a lot of fighting over it. People wouldn't trust it. Not that humans don't make errors, because they do, but you've also got unions holding those jobs, so in some ways you'd have to bust the unions in order to do something like that, and this is the type of administration that would do that. Would AI do a better job? Potentially. But I don't know if it's kind of like a self-driving car at this point. Do you really want AI controlling our lives as they're directing traffic? It could do a really good job, or it could totally mess things up. We'll see. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I do hope you find it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.